Hey, yo, let's go to Albania. Let's go to Albania. Let's see how beautiful this place is. Is it safe? Is it a place to recommend? I guess we're going to find out based on this video. Albania, we're coming to you.
Albania has beaches like Greece, dinners that cost less than a coffee, and locals who help you without a question. But after 5 weeks here, we learnt the hard way what we should have done differently.
Also, could just add another 6 hours to our hike. We'll see.
That's why we put together these 17 must-knows, real safety tips, hidden beaches, cheap eats, road trip chaos, and quirks we didn't expect.
Go.
And yes, we will give you our perfect itinerary too. Make sure you watch this before you plan your trip.
Is Albania safe? Now, a lot of people get the wrong idea because they think of Albania through the lens of Hollywood. Movies like Taken
I will find you. And I will kill you.
and other movies that involve Albanian gangsters, but they would be completely wrong because Albania is extremely safe. It has a really low crime rate, and in fact, we found some of the most trusting people throughout our whole holiday. As soon as we arrived in Albania, we hired a car, and they actually handed us the keys to the car without taking any of our credit card information, and we had the car for I think 20 days. But of course, you should still use common sense. I mean, in cities like Tirana, just keep your belongings close to you, make sure you don't flash around your expensive watch and all of that sort of stuff. But we saw no problems at all, so you should be completely safe. And on that safety, people ask about solo female travellers, especially while they're hiking up the north of Albania. And we found the hiking from Valboni to Teth to be extremely safe, well marked out routes, and heaps of people around, so you could easily do those things solo. Plus, the locals are so ready to help you, so you don't really have to worry about anything.
Tip number 2 is that Albania is budget friendly. If you're looking to go on a Euro holiday and not break the bank, then Albania is definitely a place to check out. You can expect meals to range from around 500 to 800 lek. Now, when you do the conversion for that, it's around 5 to 8 USD, which is very affordable, especially for Europe. For accommodation, we stayed in some really lovely places and didn't really pay more than 80 Australian dollars per night, which is around 50 USD. And even in places like Himarë and Sarande on the beach, you're expecting to pay around that as well. Now, if you do want to go to places like Ksamil, then they might come with a bit more of a price tag. So to give you a little example, we hired this Airbnb here. We'll pop it up on the screen. This was in Saranda. It was super close to the beach, about 5-minute walk, very close to restaurants, cafes, and everything you need. And we paid 80 Australian dollars a night for this. One thing that we get asked about a lot and that we always like to compare is your alcoholic beverages. So if you're looking to get a beer, you might be paying anywhere between €1 to €3, and a cocktail is around €4 to €7.
Number 3, and something to be aware of when you go, is tourism is still developing in Albania. In the 1990s, Albania went from communism to capitalism, and it wasn't all smooth sailing because unfortunately there was a big rise in pyramid schemes, and up to 2/3 of the Albanian population got caught up in these pyramid schemes. When these schemes crashed in 96 and 97, they wiped out $1.2 billion, which was like half of the country's GDP, and all those savings vanished. They had riots and near civil war. The economy tanked, stalling Albania's growth for years, meaning that they're still waking up to the tourism now. So when you come to Albania, you can expect more of a rough and ready experience. The roads are fantastic.
Yo, shout outs to them for being very honest. It is true that a lot of the times Hollywood will give us negative images of other countries. Like, for example, he said in the movie Taken, they have the mindset that all Albanians are bad people. We've known the Middle East that, they've categorized the Middle Eastern as terrorism. We notice when it comes to African American, they're categorized as thugs. But if you look at every American movie, they always come out to be heroes, which it is what it is. But just don't be fooled. Don't be scared by Hollywood and get to the point where you don't want to travel. Get out there, travel, explore the world. The world is a beautiful place, but also, like he's saying, you gotta have some common sense and be smart.
Highways are fantastic, but then when you come into the smaller towns, you can get a lot of potholes and a lot of gravel or a lot of dirt tracks. The service can be really good, but it also can be quite slow, and you may need to yell to get someone's attention, which we found more often than not. There is also a heap of construction all over Albania, whether it's in the beach towns or in the main city. And if you're looking to catch public transport or buses, don't be surprised if it runs a little late or you have to wait a little bit longer.
Tip number 3 is to find all of the local best beaches. Now, if you're planning a trip, you might have heard of Ksamil, you might have heard of Himarë or Saranda, which all have beautiful, beautiful beaches. Ksamil is also known as the Maldives of Albania. But our best tip is to travel outside of these towns and find the local smaller beaches with less crowds. So if you're in Himarë, go and check out beaches like Filicuri or Gijepe. If you're in Saranda or near Ksamil, there is a beautiful beach called Mirror Beach, which we absolutely loved as well.
We have videos on all of these places that we've been to, and in those videos you'll find the best restaurants, the best beaches to go, the best things to do. So make sure you check those out before you go. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that like button, because it shows that you are enjoying this video and it allows us to create more videos just like this.
If you have a bee phobia, Albania is not the place for you. Which I kind of do. Honestly, being here has kind of helped me get over my fear of bees, but there are so many bees here, which is obviously a sign they have a great ecosystem. Something is working for them, but they will be literally everywhere. As soon as you sit down to eat, there will be swarm of bees. We were at a restaurant in Saranda with the most beautiful view and really great feed, but I literally could not sit at the table because there was like 8 bees swarming around inside. Like, no one also cares. Like, the wait staff and stuff are just so used to it, no one cares about the bees, and Tice had to enjoy a meal completely by himself, just swarming bees around. So keep that in mind. But I guess a good thing about this is that they have a lot of bees, but they don't have many flies.
Number 6, Abby and my favourite, the food. You have to try all of the Albanian food, and there's a couple of dishes that we really enjoyed that I'm going to tell you now. The first one is a burek. And if you don't think this is Albanian, let us know in the comments, because I'm sure some of you disagree. But they do a fantastic burek. We had this one with meat in it in Vlora. It was a little hidden place. It's not even on Google Maps. We'll put the pin here so you can go check it out too if you do go. That was incredible. Another dish that you'll come across is fageze. This is cottage cheese and capsicum, or red pepper as most other people call it. Only Australians call it capsicum, I think. But that is delicious. And then we had tave koze, which was one of my favorite dishes. Actually, we're going to talk about my favorite dish in a second, but tave koze is like slow cooked lamb in yogurt sauce, and
Yum.
so good. They know how to slow cook meat in Albania. There is no doubt in my mind on that. Maybe avoid the chicken. I haven't had a good piece of chicken in the whole of Albania. They cook it to the death, but if you guys know a place, tell us. And then finally, tri leche, which means 3 milk. Abby frothed this dessert. I also really enjoyed it. It was a dessert, like a sponge cake that had 3 types of milk. So I think it was condensed milk, evaporated milk, and normal milk. And yeah, it's just a really tasty dessert.
Tip number 7 is to check out some of our best rated restaurants. Now, this is our own personal preference and some of the best meals that we had in all of Albania. The first one was Ira. Now, this is in Tirana. It is a very traditional restaurant and it was phenomenal. I think it was our second night in Albania and we were blown away. One thing that you have to get is the meat pie. Yeah. Honestly, Tice can't stop talking about it. If we ever make it back to Tirana, we will be heading straight back there just for the pie. And yeah, it was reasonably priced as well. Staff were fantastic. We got in early, got a seat and had such a good feed. Another one that was really special is in Barat. This is called Lily's Homemade Food and it was just such a great experience. We had to book via WhatsApp, which I found online, and I messaged him to book in because you have to book. It gets so busy. There's only like 20 seats,
Yeah.
I think. Anyway, Lily, the owner, called me back. It's a man. He called me back and we had a bit of a gas bag for like 15 minutes and he was like, where are you from? And like wanting to know all this stuff. And then we booked in last minute, got a seat, and we arrived and just had such a lovely experience. We sat in a communal table, got to know sort of everybody, and then he was just divine. So definitely one to check out, and just great traditional food as well and reasonably priced. And then last one was in Saranda. We went to a place called Mendra and it was traditional food again. We had a pie, a brick pie.
Yeah.
I do like all the buildings are kind of old school about bricks, so it's not doesn't look too fancy. It looks old school. It looks like a judge-free zone, meaning like people are not gonna look at you. You're dressed a certain way. It looks like people are just chilling, enjoy themselves, and just having a good time. And also the food looks like it's pretty good. A lot of the times, most foods from other countries, from my own experience, are a lot more healthier and more organic. There's not that much preservatives inside the foods like what the US has.
And some other little meatballs and nibbly things, but I think the service there was just fantastic. The food was delicious, but the service was outstanding. They let us go back into the kitchen afterwards and make some dough ourselves.
Make a pie.
Make a pie.
Yeah.
I got to roll out the dough and they taught me how to do that properly. And then they fried us up the dough that we ended up making. And
Now, this right here is definitely a good experience. This is one thing I like about small restaurants, small stores, mom and pops, because as soon as you like something, they want to give you that experience because they understand that in Albania, like she was saying and he was saying, it's a country that's slowly being built on tourism. So little experiences like this will teach her to go back home and be able to cook. Now he's happy. He's behind the camera. So this is pretty cool. I actually kind of like this.
sort of put some sugar and salt on it, and had a bit of dessert too. So that was fantastic.
And I guess that perfectly leads into number 8, which is unmissable experiences. Now, one thing that we did right at the end of our trip was head north to the Albanian Alps. And we weren't going to do this, but
It was on the list until someone said we have to go.
yeah, and it honestly
Ended up being the best.
ended up being a real highlight for us. We hiked from Valboni to Teth, and you'll have to check out our video on that so you can get all the details on how to do that. But it was just incredibly beautiful. We went through one of the most remote ferry rides that we've ever been through. The mountains were huge. The hike was beautiful. It was just exceptional. You got to do that. And when you're in Teth, you can visit the Blue Eye, which is this natural spring. It is the bluest water you have seen in your entire life.
And chili.
And very, very cold. Very, very cold, but go bless yourself in the water. It was fantastic. Another really cool thing that we did was visit this interactive play in Tirana called Albanian Nights. You dress in traditional Albanian outfits, and then they do this play, and you're included in the play. You do traditional dancing, you have some raki, you do all these sorts of things. It was really, really fun. It's super surprising. We didn't expect it to be so fun, but I was laughing the whole time.
we loved it.
And then the last tip, and there's so many more, but I'll keep this one short, is visit Saranda Castle during sunset. There is the best place for a cocktail and a view. It's the best in the whole of Albania. I'm sure of it. It is fantastic, so fun, and you will not regret it. Head there at 6 p.m. because it does get busy, and for you to get the best seat, you got to be there a little early.
Tip number 9 is to know what currency they use. So there is their main currency, which is the Albanian lek, but they also do widely use euro. So both are accepted. When you do go to ATMs, you will find ATMs that just have lek, or some ATMs also have lek and euro, which is really helpful. In most places, they do take both, like restaurants, cafes, all of that sort of stuff. They will accept both currencies. We found it easier and more affordable to pay everything in lek, unless you're quoted in euro. If you're quoted in euro, then try and pay in euro, because you'll end up paying a little bit more if you pay with lek. To withdraw money from any ATM, you're probably looking at around 500 to 800 lek, which is around 5 to 8 euro. Tip number 10 is that Albanians are some of the most warm-hearted people. Honestly, sort of at first glance, sometimes they can not seem so friendly and warm, but deep down, and then after you sort of have a bit of a conversation and warm them up a little bit, they are absolutely divine. We had some really lovely encounters with people in coffee shops, behind supermarket cash registers, and everyone's just really willing to help you out as well, which is just so nice. You can learn simple phrases like filamanderi, which means thank you, and of course when you do that, they really appreciate that too.
Number 11, the best way to get around Albania.
All right, guys, continue to remind you guys when you're traveling, learn a few phrases: bathroom, the cab, left, right, thank you, no thank you. Just because, like she said, if you learn the smallest phrases, it makes people feel like you're making an effort to learn their language. Always ask for questions, ask for directions. Never assume you know where you're going. Don't try to use maps system because you might get lost. Always ask questions. And remember, on your last day of your trip, when you're getting up to go to the airport, be at least 2 to 3 hours early, because you never know how their security checkpoint is. I'm gonna stop the video here, but I will link the video. I will add. I can't even talk. I'll add the link to the description in the description for their video, so you guys can go ahead and subscribe to their channel. I appreciate them for giving us this valuable information. But go ahead and, like I said, I will add their video in my description below. Happy birthday to anybody out there, all my good and bad people. Travel. Pup. Goodbye.